Today we're down at a base in Sattahip, actually it's the port in Sattahip, and we're aboard the USS Tortuga. It's obviously it's an American vessel. It's one that's just served actually with Cobra and Carrot, the Cobra Gold and Carrot exercises, but recently returned from Japan where it was working with the humanitarian crisis there. It's a vessel that basically will allow troops to get ashore. It's not a landing craft vehicle, but it comes in so far, and then they have amphibious vehicles that will then go in from the ship. But why are we here? Well, we're actually here to meet and greet the US Ambassador to Thailand, Christy Kenny. She's down here doing a meet and greet basically, where she's meeting some of the sailors, but she's also going to be moving on throughout Rayong to the Jelly Belly factory, I believe a school as well, and also the new Ford motor plant. So let's wait for the Ambassador to arrive.
Close with a Thai greeting, and I like to try to shake your hands if I can. So I will say thank you. That's the female version of this guy.
Okay, we've now came down to Wat Sambun School, where there's a, well, it's a great festivity and a great atmosphere. The brass band have been playing, now there's a Thai display. The Ambassador has been giving out some ice cream to the kids and putting some finishing touches to a basketball court that needed a little bit of a revamp. And actually the Marines from the USS Tortuga have actually been doing their Comrail work, which is their community relations work, where they've actually been spending a bit of time getting the basketball court back up to scratch, getting rid of all the weeds, repainting it, re-netting it, and have also donated some basketballs. Okay, we've now been told that we've been given the chance to get an interview with the Ambassador. So let's join her as we join the motorcade on the way to the Ford plant. Okay, now we've escaped the blazing heat and we're into the nice cool confines of the motorcade, and we're with Her Excellency Christine Kenny. How are you?
I'm well. I'm still a little warm from the heat, but it was a great opportunity to see people. I love that.
It's very nice. You know, we've on Paddy Mail TV, we've covered a lot of this sort of Comrail work that the American Navy have been doing with the Thai Navy. I didn't realize it was quite as much as this. I mean, I knew that they were doing things where they would do upkeep of schools and such like. But today, you know, we've seen eyeglass,
It's
medical.
wonderful. And I've seen this around the world.
Wow.
It's actually it's easier to do here because the Thai Navy is very capable. And as you saw, we had a great school principal there, so a great facility,
Okay.
good time of year. But, you know, it's wonderful. You like to think
sure.
that we all have the ability to help someone.
Absolutely.
And, you know, this is all volunteer.
Right.
None of the soldiers and sailors who are out here painting or the basketball nets, they're not required to do that. They get to volunteer. You know, but I think today in the world people like to do that. You like a feeling of making a difference.
Well, they do. I mean, I wonder what the Thai community think of it. I mean, I'm sure they love it and they embrace it. But I'm wondering if they think, wow, what are these crazy Yanks doing?
I don't think so, because you saw the Thai are also
Yeah.
community service oriented.
Sure they are, sure.
And, you know, they just contributed, for example, to earthquake relief in Japan,
Sure.
and the soldiers and sailors who are here just finished
Sure.
a very intensive 2 months in Japan
Yeah.
of earthquake relief. So I think you really are seeing, you know, all of us who have the capability, the Thai are compassionate, I think Americans are too. You know, we love the chance to give back.
Sure.
You go to sleep at night feeling like you've made somebody's life better.
Well, I think you have. I mean, I'll tell you what I found very touching today, actually, was the fact that you obviously love children.
I do.
And you were spending a lot of time and a lot of photo ops with them, but also getting them take off their. We've all got camera phones nowadays. Getting them to take off their phone, and you're getting your team to get
Well,
photographs.
because
of them.
these are great young kids, and you know we've all been young,
Yeah,
and
but you're a star, remember?
but we've all been where you'd love to get a picture of myself with something,
Sure.
but you don't dare ask, and you
Sure.
think, well, we have that chance to.
Well, it's
You know,
very
do that.
generous of you. Now, let's just backtrack a little bit. Can you tell us? I mean, you started your post here in Thailand in January. this
Early
year.
January, first
Okay.
week of January, I arrived in Thailand, so I've been here starting 5 months now.
Okay. Okay. And prior to that?
I was our ambassador in the Philippines
Okay.
for 4 years prior to that, so very familiar with the warm weather.
Yes.
And also the friendly people. Filipinos are like Thai. They're very
Sure.
warm, very friendly.
Sure. Well, I was going to ask you about the dealing with different cultures and how you sort of integrate with that.
Well, you obviously had great experience yourself.
Well-
But, you know, I enjoy that, and I'm still in the phase here where I'm learning, listening, you know, watching how people react. The Thai are a little shyer than the Filipinos.
Okay.
So I'm trying to be a little careful when my natural instinct is to go over and talk to people like today,
sure.
but be a little gentle, realizing they may not be so excited about having me burst in front of them.
Okay. Now, like all ambassadors, part of the thing that you have to do is you've got to learn the language.
Right.
And Thai is not the easiest, right?
It's hard, and as you've heard, I'm trying. I'm getting more courageous every day with it, but I have a lot to learn.
Now that obviously when you're out in the field like today, that breaks down any kind of barrier that might be there. I mean, today you were approaching people from the school, but obviously mothers and children. So that helps get rid of that. How does learning Thai actually help you within your day-to-day job?
Well,
or
the
is,
more
is that your day-to-day job?
yeah, the more I can understand Thai and communicate back, you know, the better we are. People are always the most comfortable communicating in their native language. So, you know, I'm hopeful that over time, you know, you and I'll be able to have this conversation in Thai,
Sure.
not in English. And that's, you know, I realize that's a challenge, but it is nice, and you want to be able to hear from people what they're thinking and doing,
Okay.
and that's usually best in their own language.
Now, moving away from the sort of the Comrail work, what about business now? This is what's your experience been since January about Americans being able to do business in
You know,
Thailand?
Americans are active here, as you know, and they're enthusiastic, have been in Thailand for years. Our American Chamber of Commerce here is one of the biggest we have in Southeast Asia. Very active. More people coming in all the time. The infrastructure is good here in Thailand. The workforce is very, very capable. It's obviously a beautiful place to live.
Sure.
And so there's a lot of business going on. We're going to tour a Ford Motor Company coming up.
Okay.
Big new investment here.
Absolutely.
And, you know, that's really because of several things. The infrastructure, the ease for people to live here, and the very talented workforce. So it's a good combination. I think today our world is so global.
Absolutely.
You have parts made in Thailand being put into an American car
Yeah.
that will then be sold around the world. So it's a really multiplier effect for so many countries.
Sure.
And then after that, we're going to go to a candy company.
A candy company.
See, U.S. candy made here in
Yeah.
Thailand.
Now this is Jelly Belly.
Jelly
right?
Belly, who
Yeah.
used to be, remember, former President Reagan,
Yeah.
his favorite candy.
Okay. We actually had a tour of that plant about 2 years ago. We were given a tour and we spent the day down there. It was fascinating. Back to Ford. I mean, what
Yeah.
you said about this massive investment. Do you think, given the last 2 years with the global recession, which again obviously had a massive impact on businesses here in Thailand.
And in the United States.
And of course, yes, and American businesses working here in
Right.
Thailand. Do you think that, I mean, Ford's obviously kind of answering this question, but
Yeah.
do you think that the indicators are now that things are starting to look
I
right?
do think things are looking better. But what I think it showed all of us is, one, how global we are.
Yeah.
Everyone felt the impact
Sure.
around the world, and that really speaks to the importance of having your investments in different places. And it also speaks to, I think many companies are now looking for where is best. Where is the workforce the best? Where is the infrastructure the best? Ford is very happy with their choice of Thailand.
Okay.
But I think you're seeing countries around the world competing for that.
Okay. And do you think that the restrictions and some of the red tape that was there, you think that's loosening up, or
I think we are making good progress. I mean, there's always more to be done.
Sure.
And, people are always looking for ways to make trade and business easier and better for all of us. But I think we're making very good progress here in Thailand. As I said, Ford wouldn't be doing this if they didn't feel very comfortable in the environment here, very happy in expanding their investments. General Motors is also doing very well here, the automotive industry.
Absolutely.
And part of that is also local capacity. A lot of the parts we're using are actually manufactured by Thai companies in Thailand.
Yeah.
So, you're looking for so many factors when you're an investor. And a lot of that is the local capability to manufacture, in addition to just having good airports and roads and things that make business easier.
So, how would you sum up your job as an ambassador? I mean,
It's a bit
it's
of
just
everything.
right?
Well, it's my job to work on issues like economics, which isn't just American business. It's how can we work together with Thailand on education. We want the future generations to be able to join today's global world. And one of the things we're doing is called a creative partnership, where we're looking to match our universities, our technical knowledge of both the United States and Thailand and partner together. Can we create animation for the future or medical research? And so my job as ambassador is to take care of today's business, but I hope to also be creative.
Okay.
Where are we going to be in 5 and 10 years? And what kind of partnership do we need to be part of tomorrow's century?
Sure.
To have the technology and the friendships and the ties. And that goes back actually to today's activity. The more our countries work together, train together, know each other, the better positioned we are,
Sure.
whether it's for a natural disaster or for a great future opportunity to find a new vaccine against dengue.
Sure.
There's so many opportunities. And so as ambassador, I'm trying to look for that, at the same time, obviously, handling day-to-day activities.
Well, it's very interesting, and somebody mentioned that to me earlier when talking about the medical work that was going on today, just that this all helps sort of form a bond within the Thai and the American communities, so that when there is a natural disaster or an outbreak or something, then that community is kind of established already.
Already. Well, you look at, for example, the Japan earthquake. The Thai sent a couple of airplanes full of supplies. They matched up with U.S. military that was helping Japan because they know each other.
Sure.
It was easy to do.
Yeah.
And you see that. But you also, let's look at the positive side. I was just mentioning dengue. American and Thai military medical researchers are testing HIV/AIDS vaccines.
For dengue?
No, AIDS.
Oh,
HIV/AIDS.
right.
They're working on dengue,
Okay.
but are not there yet.
All right.
But they're
Okay.
testing vaccines for HIV/AIDS. And that's a great, military to military, but it's medical technology,
Yeah.
training. These are the sorts of things that are take years to put together, and it's a reason also you want to build a partnership
And then
that
this
isn't
links
just today.
This links back in with education as well.
Education, the ability to talk to each other, to share technical knowledge. And in today's global world, I don't think any country can go it alone. We all need as many friends as possible. And in a place like Thailand, where the capacity is good, the friendship is strong, you can really go a lot further than you can in countries where you're still building capacity or friendship. So it's an amazing opportunity.
Well, yeah, I think we're just about at our next stop. Your Excellency, thanks very much for taking time to speak to us. And you know what, I think you're absolutely right what you said, and I'm sure that today you've made a lot of new friends here in the Thai community.
Well, I loved meeting them. You know, the joy of my job is very honestly getting to meet people and talk to people, and as I said, thinking really creatively about the future. And so I thank you, and I have one request for you.
Indeed.
Could you please call me Christy? You can do Kun Christy if you'd rather,
Christy?
but Her Excellency,
Okay.
you know, you and I have just been walking around in the heat. We've been hanging basketball nets.
Okay, Christy.
We've been helping kids pick glasses. I think I should be Christy if you don't mind that.
Okay, Christy, we hope to see you again down
You
here
will.
in Pattaya, and we'll stay with you as we now go into the Ford plant and then Jelly Belly, where the sweets are on you, right?
They are on me, or on Jelly Belly,
Jelly
but
Belly.
looking forward to it, from cars to sweets.
Thank you very much.
Paul, and thanks for your interest today.
Thank you. Okay,
Thanks,
stay
Dave.
tuned. Okay, well, we're now down at this new magnificent plant by Ford, and joining me is Vas Srinivasan. Now, what's your position within this company, sir?
I'm the Chief Financial Officer for Ford ASEAN Group.
Okay. Now, Ford, they've actually been in Thailand for a while, but with a sort of joint venture, right?
That's correct. We used to have a joint venture facility just not too far from here called the Auto Alliance Thailand, and that's a 50-50 joint venture with Mazda. Ford and Mazda has a joint venture.
Okay. But this new facility, I mean, this is going to be 100% Ford, isn't it?
That's correct. This facility that you see, brand new facility, that we have put in about $450 million investment, and that's 100% owned by Ford. We'll be producing a lot of Ford brand vehicles completely out of this facility.
Now, it is a very, very large facility. I mean, what's the sort of workforce that you'll be looking at here?
Initial capacity, I think, is 150,000 cars per year.
Okay.
So we'll man up to 1,500 people here.
Wow.
1,500 people here.
So in
Total Thailand, we'll have manufacturing, we'll have about 8,000 people, but it's 1,500 here, and it'll grow as the demand grows. And we'll.
So you bring that workforce in from, well, all over the world, I guess, do you?
Right now, for technology and building up initial phases, setting up the processes, we are bringing a lot of people from all over the world. But a lot of these 1,500 people will all be mostly locally sourced.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a big boon for the local community as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. It'll be a big boon for the local community. In fact, it'll generate, as I mentioned, not only jobs. Of course, when those people get jobs, it kind of creates a multiplier effect, and it just adds more, secondary businesses. Plus, in addition, the fact that we have a plant here implies that we're going to have a lot more suppliers coming in.
Sure.
And then the supplier facilities will go in, and they'll have employment as well. So, I mean, that's a multiplier effect.
It's a great stamp of confidence, isn't it? Because the last couple of years hasn't been exactly productive in terms of business, but obviously Ford can see that there's a future here, and being able to use the mixture of a lower salaried workforce for the Thai national, but then also mixing that with the foreign workforce and robots as well. That's the answer.
Yeah, we have actually a lot of confidence in Thailand. In fact, as I just said, we've got 2 manufacturing facilities. We're investing in this, and we're looking at other opportunities. Thailand is a big market within ASEAN, and so this is like we're looking at about 900,000 units industry here. So we have good plans in terms of growing our share, producing the vehicles here and then selling it here, and then exporting it as well. As I just mentioned, this plant can produce vehicles that can export up to 80% of the vehicles outside of Thailand.
Okay, well obviously it's like I say, it's a great step forward, and of course the way that this plant's going to be developed is you'll be able to adapt as the different vehicles come in.
Oh yes, absolutely. This plant is going to be pretty flexible in terms of producing different models, etc., which will be able to manage the mix as the demand mix shifts, etc. So we are quite flexible. This is one of the very great flexible plant. It's got a lot of features that uses low energy and technologies, just so that it's environmentally friendly, and it's a great plant.
Okay, well we look forward to getting a full tour once you're fully operational. We're going to continue now with the ambassador, but in the meantime on PMTV we're going to wrap it up. Vas, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for inviting us here. See you again. Bye-bye.